So let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. We say that we are dependent on you and our trust is in you completely. As we surrender ourselves in adoration, we welcome you amongst us today and celebrate the gift of life that you have lavished upon us. We ask you that you would open our ears so that we may hear your voice. Open our minds so that we may receive your eternal wisdom. Open our spirit so that we may know your leading and guidance. And open our hearts so that we may receive your wonderful love. Lord, we thank you for the speakers and facilitators. We pray that you would give them great inspiration as they share with us what you have placed on their hearts. We pray that you would fill them with courage and give them your peace. We ask all of this in the glorious name of Jesus. Amen. So, maayong buntag ang atong tanan. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, fellow teachers, and good morning to each and every one. Daghang salamat sa pag-apil sa ato ang webinar for Google for Teachers. So, in this time of age, especially karon sa demographics in technology, we need to really adapt ourselves in the new trend. We need to equip ourselves. It's because kinahanglan gid nato as educators and for us to learn new things as well. So, mga musta ko ninyo? How is everyone? So, please chat in the box. Okay pa sa all right? So, more busy-busy pang uban. Good morning. Good morning, Sir Carlo. Good morning, Sir Dandy. Ma'am Jocelyn, Ma'am Mariel, good morning. So right now, what we will tackle for this day is all about Google for Teachers, or something with Google that can really equip us, and we could use this in our day-to-day lives, especially sa atong pagtudlo, and how we could really use these things as innovations, because there's a saying, innovation meets demand. So right now, let me introduce to you our speaker, one of the best here, also in the ICT, my fellow colleague, Mr. Joshua Eleazar Domen. Sir Joshua, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Je, and to everyone. I hope you can hear me well, or I hope you can see me. Can you hear me, Je?
Yes, sir, Josh. Loud and clear.
Alright, kumusta man diya sa Cebu?
Pasko na kayong vibes, Sir Josh.
Pasko na kayong vibes. How about our participants? Taga-asa ba itong mga participants? Maybe they can share where their location is sa ato ang chat panel so that we can be aware of your location. Maybe I have limit myself from speaking Bisaya because maybe there are others who would not understand. So we have okay, from Bohol, from Bais, from Cebu, Rizal. So this is in Luzon. All right. So I would limit myself from speaking Bisaya because we also have other participants. So we have from Bais, from Cebu. All right. Regards sa mga taga Bais, actually, every year I've been invited for school's press conference every year to serve as judge. So sa mga taga Bais, hello. Regards ni Ma'am Mitch ba to? Mitch Nimpa. She always invites me. Okay, so we have a lot from Bais, we have from Bohol, we have from Cebu. Okay. Sige, so I am glad that you are here. I know um, you want to learn. That is why you are here, or perhaps you want to refresh your knowledge um, about the Google Workspace. So that might be the reason why you are here. How about the others? Where are we coming from? How many responses did we have? We have one, two, three, four. We have 9 responses, but I believe we are 19 here. So I just would like to know where your location is so that I'm also aware if which language I'll be using. So Jay, I can start now, no? We
Yes, Sir Josh.
can
The
already
floor
start.
is
All
yours,
right.
sir.
Okay, the floor is mine. Okay.
The screen is yours.
The screen is mine and the microphone is mine. Without
Thank you, Sir Josh.
anyways, thank you, Jay.
You're welcome.
Uh, please stay with me, ha? I might need assistance. So I hope you'll stay with me. Anyways, um, good morning, everyone. My name is, as you know it, my name is Joshua Elgazar Domen, and I am the ICT Industry Development Bureau Coordinator for the ICT Visayas Cluster 2, which involves both Region 7 and Region 8. And that is also the reason why um, there is another batch for this afternoon. So you are the AM batch or the morning batch, and we also have the PM batch. And for the PM batch, I will be, the participants mostly will be coming from Region 8. So I am also a Google certified level 1 educator. I passed an examination provided by Google actually just 1 or 2 weeks ago. So later on, I can actually share to you um, how you can also become a Google certified educator. Um, I encourage you as teachers and educators um, to take the exam, because of course this is an additional perhaps passport for you, no, to for you to really teach. And I believe, diba, we have perhaps ranking purposes, and so this could be additional an additional for you. Sorry, someone sent a message. An addition for you, no, in your resume for ranking purposes. So I'll be sharing also maybe at the end or a little later. But I'm also I am a teacher myself. My first job after graduating was actually as a university instructor. And then right now, aside from my stint in the ICT, I am also a part-time university instructor teaching IT subjects online to my class back in Dumaguete. So I am actually from Dumaguete, but I am working and is based in Cebu City, in the ICT Cebu. Although right now, just um just how many days ago, I am currently working from home here in Dipolog City because my family is here. So I'm fingers crossed that um the connection will not be cut here, or there will be no power outage, because there is some issues here in terms of connection and power. So let's just cross our fingers that nothing bad will happen. Okay, so I think we shall begin. Um, Also, by the way, I'm also an to everyone here, I'm also a YouTuber. I have my own channel in YouTube, and this is where I actually provide tech tutorials for everyone. So there are a lot of topics there. So in case you want to know some tech resources, then I have some videos for you there. So we shall begin. The objectives for this training, for your 2 day training, includes this. So this is the first part. This is day one. So first, to learn what the Google Workspace is, what the tools are, and how can they be used in education. Of course, because you're all educators, you are teachers, and we shall know how the Google Workspace can be of help in educating and in teaching, especially na we are in the new normal, no? And we still do not know, although there are already some policies allowing face-to-face classes by January, but I think not all will be availing of such. So there is still tendency that by next year there will be online classes. So this training will really be of help. Then for day one, we will learn how to use Google Docs and differentiate Google Docs from other word processing applications. Now, also, for day one, we will learn how to use Google Slides, and then we will also differentiate Google Slides from other slideshow presentation applications. Okay, then we will have some hands-on activities, and as a matter of fact, for your requirements in obtaining a certificate for this training, first, of course, you must be present. You must attendance will be checked, and I think Gerald has already shared your attendance for day one. So your attendance will be monitored and is actually part and parcel of you obtaining a certificate. So I hope everyone has filled in the attendance forms. Then another requirement is your participation in our Google Docs activity for today. So we will have some Google Docs activity and you must be participating in such. Another requirement is your participation in our Google Slides activity for today also here in day one. Okay. And finally, tomorrow you will have an assessment quiz at the end of the training. So the coverage will be Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Forms, and Google Sheets. So actually, everything that I will be discussing for this 2-day duration will be the coverage for your assessment quiz. Okay, tomorrow. All right, I hope that is clear. So if that is clear, can you chat in our chat panel the word clear if you have understood our instructions, or else if you have questions then you may unmute for today and you can ask me some clarifications as regards our requirements and our objectives. All right, so we are getting responses clear, crystal clear. Okay. How about from the others? Kumusta man? Have we had our inset already in your division? Human na ba ang atong mga inset? So actually there were some changes in the original schedules now because we had to accommodate those divisions who will be having the inset uh, for in their division. So we had to reschedule it until we arrive into our um, days now, our final days to our now nga date to accommodate those having their inset. Okay, so I think we have already received responses. Okay, sige, thank you. So, is it okay lang ba class? Class na noon because I also have um, I'm also teaching part-time so class na. Um, Is it okay if I turn off my video ha? To save bandwidth? Okay lang. Sige, at least nakita na mo sa ako ang nawong. Sige. So that we can already begin our session. Okay? First, let me discuss the Google Workspace before we really delve into the four applications from Google that we will be tackling for 2 days. So let me first give a brief introduction about the Google Workspace. So Google Workspace, formerly known as G Suite. So um, just a few months back, our applications are collectively known as the G Suite. So perhaps may interchange na ninyo no ang term na G Suite and ang Google Workspace, but currently um, our current name of the products for the collection of products is already Google Workspace. Okay? So it is a collection of cloud computing, productivity, and collaboration tools, software, and products developed and marketed by Google. It was first launched in 2006 as Google Apps for your domain and then rebranded as G Suite in 2016. And then just last October of this year, so December karon, last 2 months ago, it has been again rebranded to Google Workspace. Okay, so it consists of Gmail, contacts, calendar, meet, and chat for communication, currents for employee engagement, Google Drive for your storage, and Google Docs Suite for content creation. And ang Google Docs Suite, this has, of course, Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Forms, Google Sheets, Google Sites. These are part of the Google Docs Suite. And these are actually intended for content creation. And then the education edition, so there is actually a version or an education edition for Google Workspace. And this is the G Suite for education. So it still retains the G Suite for education brand. And I believe if we have DepEd participants today or DepEd teachers today, I think you are automatically members of the G Suite for education, and you have additional functions and features coming from Google. And I think you also have unlimited storage. Tama ba? Can anyone confirm? Being members of the G Suite for education. So for the Google Drive, for a normal or typical Google Drive account, there is a limited storage. But for Google or for G Suite for education teachers, I believe you have an unlimited storage. Tama ba? You are very lucky. And you are very fortunate to have such, no? Imagine you have unlimited storage. So just a rundown of the applications of Google Workspace. You have your Gmail. And did you know that there are over 1 billion active users of Gmail worldwide? So you are one of the billion users or accounts of Gmail. And it was actually established in 2004. So if you could imagine how many years na, no? Then of course, you have Google Drive as part of the workspace. What else? You have, of course, Google Forms. Then Google Sites in case you want to develop websites no easily. Aside from WordPress or Joomla or Drupal, if you have known of this CMS or content management system na web development na platforms, we also have a Google Sites. So if in case you want to create websites easily, no, then you can check Google Sites. Then we also have Google Calendar that is of course embedded in your Google in your Gmail already. So if you have some activities to attend to or events to attend to receiving from your email, then you can actually automatically set that in your calendar. So we also have Google Chat and Google Chat will be replacing Hangouts. If you still have Hangouts right now in your mobile phones or in your computers, then it will be changed to Google Chat already. Actually, by the end of 2020, so we will be saying goodbye to Google Chat one of these days. Then we also have Google Meet, the platform that we are using right now. Of course, that is Google Meet. This is Google Meet. And then we also have Google Currents. This is for employees. And then we have Google Keep. If you have some notes or lists to do or some texts that you want to include, no? Mura siya og kana ganing sticky notes in your desktop for Microsoft users. Then we also have a version of such in the cloud sa Google, and that is Google Keep. Then there is also Jamboard. As I think for G Suite for education users, you automatically have Jamboard, but there are others that by default don't have Jamboard because of their accounts nga personal lang. But Jamboard is more siya og ano, no? More siya og whiteboard, especially for you teaching and you want to discuss something, you want some illustrations of your explanations, then you can make use of Jamboard. More siya og online na whiteboard or blackboard. Pero dili man black or green, so white siya. Okay? But for today and tomorrow, there will be four Google Workspace applications that we will be tackling about, and that is Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Forms, and Google Sheets, which really are the most helpful applications from Google for teachers and for educators, no? Especially for you, you can really make use of you can make use of this applications for you to help you um, of course in your career, in your chosen profession. Diba? You are in a noble profession. Teaching is a noble profession. So these applications will really be of help to you. So that's what we'll be discussing for the rest of the 2 days na training. Okay? So I think we can now proceed to Google Docs. But first, I want to assess you in the level of your understanding that you know of Google Docs. So I want you to go to menti.com. That's www.menti.com. And then you will be asked for a code. So please key in such code 2743385, and then you will be directed to a poll question. So the question is, how well do you know Google Docs? So is it first, I only know it by name? Or is it I know how to create one Google Docs na document? Or I can start but I cannot finish? Or you can also say, I am an expert. I already know Google Docs and I can make one and finish one. So we have a live polling. Don't worry that this is anonymous. We will not get your names. I just want to know as a pre-assessment, no, to check your level of understanding about Google Docs so that I can also pattern the way or the language of how I discuss. So we now have 4 answers coming from you. How about the others? Okay. So there is one. I only know it by name. And please be honest, huh? Please be honest, especially that we will have to participate in some activity, which is in some activities which are actually part of your requirements in finishing this training and obtaining a certificate. So please let me know the level of understanding that you know of Google Docs. Okay, so we already have 8 participants answering, but I believe we have 27. We are now 27 in our here in our meeting. So how about the others? What are the answers of the others? So once again, if you are lost in answering this poll, please go to menti.com. That's www.menti.com, and then use the code 2743385, and then you just have to automatically answer among the options or among the choices so that we know your level of understanding about Google Docs. Okay, so first is coming in first is I know how to create one. Okay, I'm waiting for your answers. Um, no one has answered I am an expert. Sige, wala pa tayo expert in um creating a Google Docs document. Sige, keep your answers coming. We already have 14 answers coming from our participants. How about the others? Please do participate so that I can be aware of, we can be aware of. So perhaps you have already heard of Google Docs. So did you try creating one already? So okay, last 1 minute siguro for you to answer. We have 14 answers, but we have 28 people in the chat right now, or in the participants list right now. So asa naman ang answer sa uban? Are we all here? Last 1 minute. Okay, and time is up. So we have 15 answers from our participants, and most of you answered you know how to create one. Wow, okay. So perhaps you are here to know more of the features of Google Docs. So okay, welcome to our session. There are 4 who answered that I only know it by name. Okay, so you're very much welcome here because this training is actually for beginners. And so this could really help you know, in creating a Google Docs document. And then there are 2 who answered, I can start, but I cannot finish. So perhaps you try to open a Google Docs, an interface, but you're not you need guidance perhaps in creating and finishing your document. So okay, you are very much welcome here. This training is for you because this will help you and guide you in the Google Docs interface. No one answered, I'm an expert. Very good. Because if you already are an expert, then this training might not be for you because this is a training for the basics, and um, siguro this training might not fit you because this is not an advanced course or an advanced module. But so thank you for answering, for those who answered. And regardless of what you have answered, no, our objective for you as participants is really to know Google Docs, and who knows, you will also become a Google um, certified educator, just like me. No, I can share some tips, and you really have to. This training is really important, and this will really help you if in case you want to become a Google certified educator, because we'll be hovering the Google Docs na interface which is also part and parcel of taking the exam in the Google Certified Educator na exam. Okay, so thank you very much for your answers. Now going back to Google Docs, so just a brief introduction of Google Docs. It is a word processor included as part of a free web-based Google Docs suite offered by Google within its Google Drive service. So Google Docs is available as a web application. So for those who are using desktop or laptops right now, then you're of course accessing um, our interface as a web application. We also have mobile app versions for Android, iOS, Windows, BlackBerry, and as a desktop application on Google's Chrome OS. So if you are joining in right now as in mobile, no, through your smartphones, then Google Docs is still available for you. So there are some slight changes sa interface, of course, fitting in sa smartphone na screen versus sa laptops or desktops na screen, but the functionality still remains the same. The app is compatible also with Microsoft Office file formats. That is why when you already have an existing Microsoft Word na documents no in your laptop and you are putting it on cloud, it will be rendered into a Google Docs nga interface, but still they are regardless of the file formats, kung .doc siya or .docx, no? Kana mo yung extension at the end sa imong file, then that can still be read and that can still be edited by Google Docs. Now, the application allows users to create, view, and edit files online while collaborating with other users in real time. So, edits are tracked by user with a revision history, presenting changes. An editor's position is highlighted with an editor-specific color and cursor. So a permission system regulates what users can do, and updates have introduced features using machine learning, or if they have branded it to explore. So makita mo explore nga icon sa Google Docs. It offers search results based on the contents of your document. So there is artificial intelligence already embedded in Google Docs for you to easily navigate and explore the web with your document. And it also has action items allowing users to assign tasks to other users. Okay? So at this point, I will already be covering as a quick demonstration of how to use Google Docs. Okay, so as you can see, this is my Google Drive. This is my drive, and everyone, each one of you, for as long as you are a Google account user, you have your own Google Drive, and depending on your subscription is the availability of your storage. So if you can see here on the left hand side sa bottom, no, there is the size of my storage. So us coming from the government, sa DICT, we have a 30 gigabyte space. Okay. And so even our mail, our GovMail has already been migrated to Google. Okay, so that's actually how safe and secure the Google platform is. And for others, siguro if we have DepEd teachers here, you have unlimited storage. So one to sawa mo sa inyong storage. How lucky, no? And how fortunate you are, because you have unlimited storage being part of the G Suite for Education na account. Anyways, so we will now try to create a Google Docs document, and um, one way for such to do is you hover to the new na button, no? Sa pinakataas ka na i+, and then you can actually upload a file, perhaps a Microsoft Word na file from your local na PC, and then that can already be treated into Google Docs as long as it is in the Google na interface. Or you can create from this, no? Na atay mga applications, and then we can start from scratch by going, of course, sa Google Docs na icon, and then you can create a blank document, of course, meaning to say aning blank, walay sulod, it is an empty document, or you can actually create from a template. So if Microsoft Word has its own templates, no, Google Docs also has its own templates. But for the benefit of this training, then we will start from scratch by choosing a blank document. So this is already our interface in Google Docs. So as you can see, mura siya og ano, no, it looks similar sa Microsoft Word. There are tabs, or we call this ribbons in Microsoft Word, but these are our menu for Google Docs. And if you might ask, where is this saved? So this is automatically saved sa kung asa mo ni create or where you created your Google document. So as you remember, I created such document here in my root folder in Google Drive. So the document will of course be placed here. But if you have some folders or subfolders where you created your file, then of course it will be located there. So say for example, I have my own folder, no, in my Google Drive. Perhaps I can choose any October 14 na folder, no. So these are the contents of my October 14 na folder inside my Google Drive. So if I create a new Google Docs document here, so the location of course will be here. Or if I create another folder, say for example, documents for editing, which is a subfolder of the October 14 folder, then if I create a new one here, a new Google Docs document here, so it will also be, it will open to a Google Docs na interface, but it will be saved in such folder kung asa ta ni create. Okay, so you might get lost kung if we're in locating your document, but remember that it will be found to where you of course created such Google Docs na document. Okay, let me see. Okay, also if you have some problems, no, in locating your Google Docs na files, even if Google Sheets siya or Google Slides, then we have a very powerful AI enabled na search bar din sa ato ang Google Drive. If you could remember some keywords to such file name, then you can place it here and you can search. This search bar of Google Drive is very intelligent. Even if you include text, a certain text that is included as a content no sa inyong Google Docs na document, then that can also yield results to such, even if it is not in the file name but rather it is inside as a content of your document. It will still be um, your search results will also include such files. Okay, so this going back now to our document, to our Google Docs. So you can rename your document here. So by default, the file name is Untitled Document. But from there, you can click on such and then you can automatically rename your document. Say, for example, my first Google Docs. So that will be your file name. And how do you save changes in Google Docs? The answer is um, you don't have to press anything, di ba? Sa Microsoft Word, you have to go to File and then Save or Save As. But here in Google Docs, being a real-time and collaborative na cloud-based word processing application, it is automatically saved for as long as you are connected to the internet. Okay, so kani siya, if yeah, on this part, see document status. That is also the part where if you will be typing something, you will also see na it is saving and it has been saved to Drive because you don't have to press anything for it to save. So any changes that you do, any modifications that you do, that will automatically save your document for as long as you're connected to the internet. Now question, what if I lost my internet or nag-brown out, so there is no connection? How do I do with my Google Docs? So you will not be able to edit your document. There is a notification that says that I think you have lost your connection, trying to something. So you cannot edit if you are not connected to the internet. So you will be only able to edit such document as long as you are connected to the internet. Okay? So under the file tab, um, so we have share. If you want to share your document to anyone else, so since we belong to the DICT organization, then I can include here some members of the group, and I will just type in a name and then it will respond to other email addresses or other accounts belonging to our DICT domain. But for personal use, for others or who do not belong to a certain domain, then chances are there will be no results that will be coming out. But if you come from DepEd Siguro and you have your own domain, then there will be names that will be dropping down if you will be typing a name. So under such, we have get link, no? So for every Google document, there is actually a link for someone. If you want someone to also edit or to provide comments, then you have to copy the link. Okay, so as you can see on the bottom part, no, there is a copy link. But in our case, by default, only those belonging to our domain can access my document. So if ever you are not coming from the ICT and I have shared this to you, you will not be able to access the document. You can only view, but you cannot edit. So say for example, I want to edit it to everyone. As long as you're in the internet, then you can actually edit the link or edit the recipients, and then there is a drop down for you to choose from. So there is restricted if no one else must access the file and that must only belong to you, then you should click on that. But if you want, if you you as what I've said, if you are a member of a certain domain, in our case, we are members of the DICT domain, then I can share them to them. Those who have at dict.gov.ph na domain, no, I can share this only to them. Or if you really want to share this to everyone, especially if you have classes, you have students, no, and you don't have a certain domain that you belong to, they have public accounts or personal accounts, then anyone with the link is the best choice. Okay? Once you have chosen, then you can select which type or mode the one you're giving access to must have. Pwede siya viewer, wherein they can only view the file as it is, but they could not edit, they cannot create modifications, they cannot update the document. Just solely for viewing the contents of your document. So you can choose them as viewer. Pwede also as commenter, no? They can provide comments in your document, but they really could not edit, then you can choose such commenter. Or if you will, if your document is collaborative, perhaps you and your teachers, your fellow teachers, have a document to finish. Perhaps you are doing a lesson plan for all Filipino teachers from grades 1 to grade 6. Then you want everyone to contribute, then you can choose editor. Okay? So the link will be updated, then you can copy the link for them to for you to give them, perhaps through email or through messenger or through chats or text. You just have to copy the link and paste it there and send it to them. So you just have to copy the link. Then I will give you some tip, no, or technique, because as you can see in our link, the link is so long, no? It is and it is very lengthy, and it somehow hurts your eyes, of course. Now, what if I want to customize the link, no? So that once you give it to your target recipient, then it is customized in such a way that it is easily understood ang link. So I will give you some tip. You can go to tiny.cc. It's tiny.cc, no? This is the interface, and you just have to paste the long link, no? And then under such, there is the custom na text box. That's where you will nominate your link that you want it to be customized, that you want it to appear. So say for example, first document. So after putting that, you have to click on the shorten button. And now, okay. So as you can see, what results is that the custom hash is already in use. So every link has a unique link. So if it's already in use, then you could not use such link anymore. So perhaps we can customize this again into first doc, and the date for today, 12/17/2020. So let's try it again. So um, it is now successful and it is now available. So you just have to copy such kanino na duplicate na icon, or you can share it through your social media accounts or through email, no? But you just have to copy this, and then you send that to anyone else, to your student, to your teacher who you want to give access to. And then the link will be shortened, no? It will appear as tiny.cc first doc 12/17/2020, but it will still result when someone clicks on it, that it will result to the same document that you are sharing. So if you want na your students no will have a perception na si sir or si ma'am is very techy because QR code ang gigamit or is being used, then you can click on the third icon. So you have to get the QR code and it will open to another tab wherein there is a QR code. So you can also share this QR code. Your recipients will just have to scan using their QR code scanner, and then they can already go to the document that you're sharing to. So kana, it's very easy and very techy. There are also other links or other URL shortening um, sites, just like bit.ly or bit.ly, no? Um, the site is loading, although aside from TinyCC or TinyURL, you can also make use of bit.ly. Because sir, there are some issues no sa tiny.cc, especially if it is NX domain ang error. Actually, you have to change some IP configurations for you to successfully proceed. But this is the interface of bit.ly. Then you just have to go and create your link. So more or less, basically the same with the ones in tiny.cc, but there is just some slight changes in the interface in bit.ly. Okay, so um, that's a pro tip for you. Because diba kaning ato ang hyperlink, it's very long, it's very lengthy, it's not pleasing to the eyes. So if you want to customize the link for you to share. Okay, so you can create a new document or a new other Google Docs suite na applications coming from the new. Then you can also open other Google Docs document. Then you can make a copy if you want a duplicate or a duplication of this very same document that um, that you are currently on. Then you can make a copy. It will be duplicated, no? Then you can email. You can email your document, your Google Docs document, automatically since there is a sub menu in our menus. Then you can also download this, no? If you actually want to convert files, no, easily, then you can actually upload it as a Google Docs document, and then you can download it into the available formats that Google Docs has. And once you click on it, then there is an automatic na downloading na window depending on your browser. If you are using Google Chrome, then in the bottom part of your browser, there is the download that is happening, or um, that will be done once you click on download. So you can also make this available offline, no? If you can say, for example, you'll be going on vacation and there is scarcity of internet. You can also make it available offline, but you have to install an offline extension for you to do such. Then it will once you have been connected to the internet, then or once you go online, then all your changes or modifications will be updated. Okay. Then one good thing about Google Docs is that there is version history. So um, if you have changes, then there will be versions, and you can select on the versions if which one you want to recover. Perhaps since it is a collaborative document, no, and perhaps your fellow teacher created an error or a mistake, so you can revert the changes, or you can go back to the original documents or a few versions of this document by going here sa version history. So you can also rename the document, although you can do such easily no by going here lang sa title itself. You can directly edit there. You can move from your Google Drive to another folder inside your Google Drive. Pwede siya. Then you can delete. You can add shortcut to your drive. That is possible. And then you can also publish to the web. Um, There are also document details, what your document is, the file name, the size. And you can also select the language. You can select from the available languages. No? Like in Microsoft Word, by default, it is English. Also, here in Google Docs, it is in English, but you can change the language so that for the spelling errors, no, na detection or um, grammar check, the language can be selected. So you can also change the page setup here if it is 8 if it is 8.5 by 11, or is it A4, or is it 8.5 by 14. You can change the page setup here. Also, if it is portrait or in landscape, you can do such here. Then you can also automatically print. Okay. So in edit na tab or menu, the basic undo, redo, and paste, although the same shortcuts that you have in Windows also apply in Google Docs, like Control C, Control Z, Control Y. Okay? So ang Control S wala na. There's no need for you to make use of Control S because automatically once you have changes, then Google Docs saves it for you. So under the view, you can select the print layout, the mode. Is it for editing, or is the document is for suggesting comments or suggesting some suggestions, or is it only for viewing, just for reading? So you can actually select your modes. If you want to edit something in your document, then you choose editing. You can also the rulers can also be shown. Kani ato makita ano? This one here. Then you have to show the ruler if you want some guides, especially some margins. Then we also have show document outline, show equation toolbar. And say for example, you are mathematics teachers now. There are also available na equations for you to make use. That is a feature from Google Docs. Okay. Then you can also view it as in full screen, pwede. And then so we also have insert. Actually, the very basic um, basic features or applications that Microsoft Word has is also available in Google Docs. But Google Docs is powerful in terms of you want to share immediately, or if your document is collaborative, if you have a teacher student activity and um, you want them to make or to you want them to answer such document, then Google Docs is actually the best um, application for you. Although I'm gonna share a Word document. Stop presenting, then present a window. So this one, although Microsoft Word class, or to everyone, naanad ako sa class because I also have a class. You can actually also share your document to other users, no? Microsoft Word has seen how Google Docs has become very effective as a collaborative um, tool as a word processor. But Microsoft Word has seen that, and they added a function. If you can see here in the upper right corner, just below the X, no? Nga, um, just below the X na button or the close button, you have share. But um, the only downside of sharing here, class, is that you have to save it to cloud, and only Microsoft users can also access such. It is not available publicly, no, compared to Google Docs na if you share it to anyone with the link, anyone in the internet, then they can also access the document. But sharing here in Microsoft Word is different because um, users must also be Microsoft 365 users to access. So not everyone can access, and not everyone has their own Office 365 accounts. So that's one downside. Although that is an effort that um, Microsoft Word or Office is has introduced. So I'm gonna share again my Google Docs. Okay. So basically, what you can do in Microsoft Word can also be done in Google Docs class. Okay, so I mentioned the Explore function, no? This one in the bottom right. So this is an AI embedded by Google. So if you have some contents in your documents, then you can make use of this button for you perhaps to research or to add. And then another good feature of Google Docs is this one, insert link. Although this is also present in Microsoft Word, no, but um, it is not included in the toolbars. Like you have to right click on it and insert link. But here in Google Docs, there is an easy navigation for inserting a link, and there is a shortcut. So you just highlight the document and you insert a link. So say for example, you have a link katong atong ganina, no, nga gi ano gi-share, pwede to, or katong atong gi-access, pwede to ninyo. You can or perhaps say for example you want to include the Facebook in your link. Okay, so you just have to click on apply, and then once someone clicks on this, then they will be redirected to facebook.com. So na siya. Okay, so at this point, before we do, let's have our activity by 9:30, no, our first Google Docs activity. But before such, um, let's go back to the slides because we will differentiate Google Docs versus Microsoft Word. So both applications are word processors. You can edit text files, you can create your documents, but we will try to dissect what the differences are in terms of their functionalities. Okay? For us, of course, to be guided. Sige. So, first is in terms of functionality. So both Microsoft Word and Google Docs have collaboration features. If you want, no, to work as a team or a student teacher na activity, there is both have these functionalities as what I have told kanina, no, when we access our Microsoft Word na interface. But um Sa Google Docs, since it is built into the drive, it is very easy for you, no, to see which files you have shared, and it is really easy to navigate. But of course, in Microsoft Word, you do not know if you have shared this um, file of yours, of this document of yours, not unless you open the exact file. So you will know that it has been shared if you open such. But once if you see it in the Google or in the Explorer, no, na icons, there is no icon there saying you have shared it. You have shared the file sa Microsoft Word, but in the Google Drive, there is a button there along with your preview of your document. Na it says that it is being shared or has it been shared. So in terms of functionality, Google Docs is the app to be. Okay. Now, in terms of collaboration, so of course, in terms of collaboration, Google Google Docs being a collaborative tool, since Google really wants some collaboration between its users. So in terms of collaboration, Google Docs is really um, the app to be for cloud and syncing. No, actually both Microsoft Word and Google Docs offer some great cloud capabilities. And however, in Microsoft Word, you'll have to be an Office 365 subscriber, or you have to be enrolled to the Office 365 na domain for you to sync your files, no? And for others to be able to open, edit, and sync your files, they have also to be Office 365 um, users. But in Google Docs, even if they don't have a Google account, they can still view your documents, and they can see your the contents as viewers with Google Docs. Okay, so in terms of cloud and syncing, then Google Docs is the best option. For offline access, of course, then um, Microsoft Word wins this because, of course, Microsoft Word has a lot of features. Of course, if you're not connected to the internet, you can still be able to 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 create documents, to edit documents. But in Google Docs, if there is no internet connection, then you can't be able to edit and open documents, not unless you have the offline extension. And there is also a long process for you to do such. And also, regardless if you have already the extension, no, and you can already edit it offline, you still have to be connected to the internet after for you to sync or merge the updates or the edits and the changes that you did, diba? And so in terms of offline access, um, it is Microsoft Word which has won this area. In terms of formatting, um, without a doubt, Microsoft Word wins this area. Um, it's far easier to create unique text formatting rules, no, in Microsoft Word than it is in Google Docs. And then actually Google Docs has some limited features in terms of formatting. Um, in Google Docs, there is a 25 MB limit if you attach files, if you attach um, pictures or documents, 'di ba? So not all files that you paste in Google Docs can be pasted or can be included in the content. Okay? So sa Microsoft Word, you can include any file, you can embed or insert any picture, but in Google Docs, there is limit. So in terms of formatting, Microsoft Word wins this. In terms of availability, without a doubt, Google Docs wins because Google Docs is free. You just have to be a Google account user to make use of Google Docs. But in Microsoft Word, di ba, you have to purchase, you have to install, you must have an installer. If it is not factorily installed, no, in your laptop or in your computer, then you have to um, install it, and it does not come for free. Plus, you have to be an Office 365 user um, to avail of other features, di ba? Murag naman ay mo prompt no na on top na this is not licensed or something like that sa Microsoft Word. So you have to license and purchase the license. So contrarily with Google Docs na once you have your Google account, you can create instantly your document. So in terms of availability, without a doubt, Google Docs wins this. Okay? So those are our basic differences between Google Docs and um, Microsoft Word. Yes, correct. Si Mr. Harold, no? What was it that you chatted? Microsoft Office activation failed, some functions disabled. Yes, that is correct. That is one downtrodden feature of Microsoft Word. Of course, Microsoft wants um, to earn profit, to earn revenue. So you have to avail of some features. So yes, that's correct. Thank you, Mr. Harold. Okay. So at this point, we will now be having our first Google Docs activity. That remember that this is part of your requirements in for you to obtain a certificate. So in our activity, let me go first to the activity. Google Workspace training. And then okay, so this will be our first activity class. Um, I will be sharing to you a Google Docs document, and I just want you to answer a question. What is your opinion on the resumption of face-to-face classes this January? So in every row, you can select your own row, but I just want you to please make sure if someone is editing on this row, then you can proceed to another row. Just select your own row, but please make sure that you do not leave any row um, blank. So if you have not, if you would see that there is this row has not been answered, then or there is not anyone editing this, then um, choose that row. So don't leave a row blank. So you just have to answer the question, and then you have to create your opinion, or you include your opinion in this column, no? And then also write your corresponding name in such row. So in your opinion, you can format, you can select your own text, your own font. You can select your own size, you can select your own text color, pwede bold. I will leave it up to your creative imagination how you want to answer such, but just remember that you only have to edit your row. Okay? Do not edit others. And then another thing, please also you can also comment in one perhaps your classmate now, your fellow teachers or your fellow trainees have said one opinion, no? And whether you agree or you do not agree in such opinion, insert a comment. Perhaps you can also reply or respond that um, yes, I agree, I do not agree. Okay? So how do you do such? How do you insert a comment? You just have to highlight the text or the row. Then here in our insert now, there is a comment. There is a comment feature or Control Alt M. So as you can see in my own, it is disabled because I am the only one accessing this. But once I share this to everyone, then you can already insert comments. Okay? So once again, first you have to create your opinion along with your name. You can format your text. You can change the font. You can change the color. You can change the font size. It depends on you. And then next, you have to insert a comment from one of your fellow trainees or from your classmates. Okay? So I'll be sharing this to everyone. So um, please wait for a while. I will be pasting it in our okay class. I have included it in our chat panel. So please access such link. Then you can start your activity. Okay? And then you have until 10 o'clock to you have 10 until 10 o'clock to finish the activity. So if you have noticed, there are various colors, no, cursors in every row. That means that that is being edited. And as you can notice also class, no, there is um, anonymous camel, anonymous chipmunks. It is for the reason that we do not belong to the same domain. No, that is why mga anonymous siya. But once we belong to the same domain, your exact account or your exact profile will be actually shown there. So for us here in DICT, since we belong to the same domain, we can see or we can check who really has edited such, who really has updated such document. So we get the exact names, the exact accounts. Dili lang anonymous camel, anonymous chipmunk. But kita right now, since we do not belong to the same domain, this is a public document. That is the reason that anonymous, yeah, there is anonymity. Okay, so go ahead, class. And go on with your task. You still have 20 minutes. So once you have provided an opinion, please comment on the opinion of others. What is your opinion, no? Sa resumption of face-to-face classes this January? Do you agree? Do you not agree? Is it safe na to go? Then you can format your own font size. Please do not forget to write your name, huh? Because this will serve as your participation in our activity. So 15 minutes to go. Once you are done with your opinion, with your answer, please provide a comment in one of your classmates na opinion, or if you want multiple comments, you can do so, but at least one comment will do. How do you insert a comment? You have to highlight the text. So say for example here, I will be commenting on the second row, no, kang Roy Monteserin. I want to create a comment. I just have to highlight such. And then sa ato ang right hand side, no, there is an add comment na button. You can click on that, or sa insert nga tab and na-comment or Control Alt M. So first you have to highlight the comment. So we already have comments from Roy Monteserin, from Mark Estorco, and from Rex. But we don't have comments from others yet. So make sure that you create a comment from one of your classmates na opinion. Do you agree, or do you have something you have to debate on? You have 13 minutes to do so. For the others who are done, you can take your early break. But so question, hi sir, from Tasha. Ako ng anonymous na comment. So actually, let me see ha, anonymous. Okay, Tash, have you nilagin kasi mo ang Google na account? Did you log in? Because maybe that's also the reason nga no anonymous ka, kay wala ka log in. But sige, I'll take that for now. Please ano na lang, please write your name under your name. So one reason that nga no na anonymous ka sa comments is one, you did not log in, no? Since naka-public niya siya na document, so anyone can actually edit. Kulang pa ba nga to ang rows? Do we still have to add rows? We still have, I think, blank. We still have blank rows here for those who wala pa naka-answer. Okay, phone lang, oo. Okay, sige. Sige lang, Tash. Just write your name sa anonymous. Nababatay participants who have not yet answered. You can chat it in sa ato ang Google Meet, no? But in case wala, then I'll mahirap sa phone, gumagalaw yung interface. I agree, Sir Jonathan. It is harder, no, if you are on smartphone or in your mobile phone. So yes, gumagalaw ang interface because there is also editing that is happening above or under. So you can expect that the whole interface will also change, no? It will also move. Mm-mm. So if I think there are still others who will answer, no? How do you insert another row? You just have to right click on it, then insert row below. No? Just like what you do, no, sa Microsoft Word. Insert row below. Insert row below. You want multiple, then insert 3 rows below. So, okay, for those who are still catching up, you have you still have 8 minutes. So how do you delete a row? Of course, say for example, there is a blank no row, just like here. Then right click lang. Then delete the row. Do not delete the table, ha? Although it is still safe, no, because there are actually versions, but since I am paranoid, ayaw na lang i-delete ang table. You can delete the row since inactive man ang row. For those na may mga anonymous na comments, no, I ask you to write your name. So please respond by clicking on my reply, write your name. Since one of the reasons why you are anonymous ka is because you did not log in to your Google na account. But since this is a public document, anyone can access and provide comments and edit regardless if you have logged in. Okay, noted. JC, oo. I believe you first log in, JC Perez, no, without Google account, and now you are back with a Google account. Don't worry, that is noted. Five minutes. For those who are done, you have already created your opinion and you have commented on others' opinion. You can take your break and be back at 10:05. You can be back at 10:05. Then for the others who are still creating or doing the task, you have until 10 o'clock to finish so that you have 5-minute break after, no? Before we proceed sa Google Slides. Dili lang ko magpa-music class because mag-lag manggod ang ako ang laptop. But kanya-kanyang pa-music na lang, pa-music na lang mo diha. Ganahan ba mo kanta ko or mosayaw? Ayaw lang kay maulan niya. Sige, so finish na class. You have 5 minutes. For those who are done, then you can go and take your break and be back at 10:05. Please remember that you do the task, no? Because we will validate and check after if if you have created or you have done your or you have given your opinion. That's one of the tasks, so we will check that. Another is you have commented on one opinion of your classmates or of your fellow trainees, so that's the second task. So we will validate and check if you have if you have done the two things that are being asked from you. So ayan na, lumalabas na ang mga creative juices ng ating mga students, ng ating mga trainees. Yan na. Mga essay writers din, no? Mga opinionated ay ang ato ang mga teachers. So, Ma'am Marites Pantorilla, did you answer na sa ato ang have you answered to our Google Docs na activity?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet. Okay, you have to access the document. You don't answer here the question sa ating Google Meet, but you have to go to the document itself. So I have shared it again for you to access. So please do not
Kaya pala
answer.
sir, hindi ako makapag-access.
Ay, ano po yun, Ma'am Marites?
Si Ma'am Lunida po to, hindi ako makapag-access sa sa activity, sir.
Why not, ma'am? Ano ang ano natin?
Kasi
Ba't hindi
naglalag po ako dito, hindi ko po nakita yung yung na-share mo na link.
Okay. Anyways, I have shared it again, the link. Please check
Okay,
it
thank
out.
you po, sir.
Okay,
Na-check ko na po. Thank you po.
All right. Also, for the others, I have shared again sa ating chat panel the link So class, is everyone done? I think wala na, no? Wala nang mga edits. So let me count how many have answered so that we can confirm from the number of attendees that we have. So we have 25 answers, but we have 29 people here. I think I have two accounts, 27, then si Gerald, 28. I think there is one who has not answered yet. So please check out because this is, of course, part of your of the tasks, and you will only receive a certificate if you have done the task. Remember that you must have a comment because that's part of the task. Okay? I think wala na. Meron pa bang mag-answer? Wala na. If none, then we can proceed to our next session. Can I ask a response nga let's go sa comment sa ating chat panel so that we can proceed? Let's go so that we can proceed to the next. Let's go to slides. Go, Aja. Oh, may Korean pala tayong kasama. Let's go. 5 lang? The others are still taking their break, perhaps? Mm-mm. So from Jonathan, may we request a copy of the recorded session? Okay. You can request from Gerald, our coordinator. He will be the one providing the recording. Tama ba, Je? Are you still with us, Je? Yan na, hindi na sumagot. Nag-break na din si Gerald. Anyways, let's now proceed. I will now proceed, class. If there's no more other additional inputs, I will be stopping the share, para hindi na ma-edit. Okay? So let's proceed. So after Google Docs is yan na, bumalik ako sa the Google Slides. So Google Slides is a presentation program included as part of a free web-based Google Docs Office suite offered by Google since 2006 within its Google Drive service. Now, the service also includes Google Docs and Google Sheets, a word processor and spreadsheet respectively. So Google Docs, we have already discussed such, and we just finished our discussion and activity just a few moments ago. And for Google Sheets, we will talk about it tomorrow. So Google Slides is available as a web application. So for those who are using laptop or desktop, then you will be accessing your slides through a web application. While there are also other platforms where you can access such, just like Android and iOS. We have Windows Phone, BlackBerry phone, mga smartphones, no? But as what you have observed in our Google Docs activity kanina, no? And for those who are using smartphones or mobile phones or perhaps tablets, it is quite harder, no? To make use of the application, most especially na you are just using your hands and your fingers to hover and to maneuver the interface compared, of course, to a desktop application where you have your keyboard and you have your mouse to help aid in accessing or in using your um, your tools and platforms provided by Google. So iba talaga if naka-desktop or laptop. Although mobile is really important and helpful, no? Especially perhaps if you are on travel or you are on remote, so you can still access your files without having to open your laptops. Just easily take out your smartphones from your pockets and connect to the internet through your mobile data. So you can still access such through your other devices other than laptops and desktops. Now, just like PowerPoint class, slides allows users to create and edit presentations online while collaborating with other users in real time. So the big word in Google Slides and also with other Google Workspace tools is that you can edit real time and update real time. So if you are multiple users, if you belong to the same team or the same group, perhaps you are a teachers of Filipino subjects, no? For your class and you have your own team of Filipino subjects, then you have to create an accomplishment report for your for the year, for the school year. Then you want to create your own presentation, but you are geographically far from each other. Perhaps it is weekends, no? You are doing your slideshow presentation on a weekend and you just want to stay at home and or perhaps you are afraid of taking the risk, no? Especially we have the invisible enemy of COVID outside lurking behind anywhere and everywhere. So you want to still deliver a presentation that is collaborative without having to leave the comforts of your homes for as long as you're connected to the internet. You can do so because Google Slides is real time. Edits are tracked by user with a revision history. So just like Google Docs, there is a revision history that tracks changes to the presentation. Each editor's position is highlighted with an editor-specific color or cursor, and the system regulates what users can do through varying degrees of permissions. So updates have introduced features using machine learning, just like Google Docs, no? We already have the explore function offering suggested layouts and images for presentations and action items allowing users to assign tasks to other users. So say for example, you want someone, no? You want a member of your team to edit a certain slide. So you just have to mention their name in the action item, the one on the right hand side. You just have to click plus and then they can already edit such slide because you're asking them to edit such slide. So collaborative is really something that Google Slides um, is for, because if you have a shared presentation that you have to edit, so this tool is really for you, no? Diba? If you compare it to PowerPoint, um, you only you can only do it on your own, or perhaps if meron kayong kasama, no, that you want some slides to be edited, you still have to send such file, 'di ba, to them, and there is no real-time edit. You will have to merge your edits in the end. Compared to Google Slides, no, um, you just have to share the link of such Google Slides. You don't have to upload a file. You just have to share the link, and then you and your members can edit. Diba? So it will save time for you to create. Sige, so um, let me differentiate in-depth Google Slides versus PowerPoint this time. So first is affordability. Google Slides is part of Google Docs and is completely free to use. While PowerPoint, diba, is part of the Microsoft Office package along with the Microsoft Word. So, saglit lang class ha. I have some important chats to attend to. For a while lang po. Okay. Sige, sorry class. There was some important message that I had to attend to. Anyways, since PowerPoint is part of the Microsoft Office package, in order for you to use it, you need to have a license for Microsoft Office. So, ang iba, nagka-crack na lang noon na version, but delikado po yan. And it is now easy for Microsoft to crack down sino ang nagka-crack lang. They can already trace, especially if you are connected to the internet, no? It is easy for them. And also, yung pag Windows update, that can actually track you using a cracked version. So, it all boils down to Microsoft Office, including PowerPoint, being not free. It entitles you to pay the package, diba? And usually, ang package has an annual payment of $70. Tapos, ang OneDrive storage, for you to share and collaborate your PowerPoint and other Office na applications, no, is $150. So, yes, may nag-comment na agree. 'Di ba? So, and it is not expensive. I mean, it is expensive. It is not cheap. It doesn't come for free compared to our Google na Workspace na applications. So, yun. In terms of affordability, the sure winner is si Google Slides. Okay? Now, in terms of accessibility, Google Slides doesn't require any software installation for you to run it. Since this is a cloud-based software, no? All you need to do is start preparing your presentation. Make sure you have your Google account because you cannot create and edit if you don't have a Google account. Although you can view other slides of other users, but for you to really create and edit, you must of course log into your Google account and you'll be connected to the internet. And then as compared to PowerPoint, diba, you have to install. If it is not factorily installed, no, when you buy a laptop or when you buy your desktop, then you have to install such. Yung iba nagka-crack. So in terms of accessibility, PowerPoint is really, I mean, Google Slides is really the tool to be. You can access it anywhere, regardless if ang PC, 'di ba, may installed na because Google Slides is not an application na you have to install. So kahit sa ang PC ka pumunta or kahit kaninong PC ang gamitin mo or kahit sa anong device ka pumunta, in Google Slides you can create your slideshow presentations. Okay? We have a chat coming from Antoinette Aguinaldo. Your recorded videos and PPTs. Okay. Sure. Gerald, our coordinator for this training, will be the one sharing to you. And sige, Merry Christmas din in advance. Ilang days na lang ba? Just next week na ba? Tama ba? But sige, Merry Christmas everyone. So going back, if you want to access your slideshow presentations in Microsoft, you have to avail of the cloud storage na OneDrive. And if you avail of OneDrive, that's another doling out of money, no? That's another expense aside from the installation itself. But sa Google Sheets, as long as you have logged into your Google na account, then you can easily open your slides and docs and other work space na applications easily. So in terms of accessibility, Google Slides is the winner. In terms of online performance, so Google Slides was created with an online performance in mind. Diba? So the cloud-based software works flawlessly when the internet connection is strong. Then since it runs in your browser, it is possible to experience glitches or slow loading sometimes. So yung nangyari din kanina, diba? I am sharing my Google Slides actually through the web browser. Just right now, I'm sharing this through the web browser. And when I tried to play a YouTube video kanina, no, while you are doing your activity, yung Bruno Mars, since they belong to the same browser, so there are some glitches. There are some may konting lag between the two. So that's one downtrodden feature for Google Slides. So may kaunting problema. If you work side by side with another site, especially if playing videos, then you are also presenting your Google Slides. So may kaunting problema about that. And also, there is also an online version of PowerPoint, the PowerPoint Online, especially if you have an Office 365 account. But it has fewer features in terms of the functionalities as compared to Google Slides. But the desktop version of PowerPoint is, of course, much more powerful in terms of features. Okay. In terms of backups and storage, Google Slides, since it is embedded na to your Google Drive, so in every Google account there is a Google Drive na storage, and it is cloud-based. So Google Slides saves all data on your drive. So this also means that there is no need for you to hit save, no? Parang every edit nyo or every changes nyo in your PowerPoint presentation, di ba? You have to press Control S or file save kasi baka mag-hang bigla ang PC. 'di ba? You're already in the middle of your creation of your presentation, biglang nanghang. So balik ka ulit sa umpisa. But in Google Slides, there's no need for you to press Control SSS or save it, because in the first place, there is no save function in Google Slides, because for every modifications that you do, for every changes that you have made, then Google Slides already saves it automatically in your drive. Okay? PowerPoint doesn't have an automatic saving, diba? Or not unless if you have the PowerPoint 2016 na version, then there is already an automatic saving. Or if you are a member of the Office 365, if you are a subscriber for such, then there is an auto saving. But what if your PowerPoint is still that 1997 2003 version, so there is no automatic saving. So there are in terms of backups and storage, Google Slides is of course the best option. Kasi wala, you don't have to become an you don't have to subscribe just like in Office 365 to have your own storage. Once you have once you are on a Google account owner, then you automatically have a Google Drive with your storage, so you can back it up, 'di ba? Say for example, no, si Ma'am daw magta-travel si Ma'am to Baguio kasi may teacher summit and may pinipare siya na presentation, no? Let's say taga-Bai siya and may pinipare siya na presentation, sinave niya sa USB flash drive. Pagdating ng Baguio to present her discussion, nalamigan ang USB, ayaw na mag-work, 'di ba? So that is an offline storage. So the best alternative for such is of course to save it in the Google Drive para pagdating mo, no, ng Baguio, i-access mo na lang if make sure there is internet connection. I-access mo doon, you already have your backup of your file. 'Di ba? Compared sa nagdala ka pa ng USB flash drive or ng CD na hindi pala gumagana pagdating mo doon. So paano na? Tapos hindi ka pa nakadala ng laptop mo kasi mabigat, 'di ba? So in terms of backup and storage, then Google Slides is the best option. Ayan na, in terms of teamwork, which I believe is very important today, 'di ba? Especially in a teacher-student interaction, no, online, or even in teacher-teacher or teacher-school function, may pinapagawa si district supervisor, division supervisor, si superintendent, and you have to work along with your other members from other schools. So Google Slides allows seamless collaboration between you and your team members. You can chat, you can comment. Yes, there is a chat function. You can comment. You can make edits while you create your presentation simultaneously. So all changes are viewed instantly by the rest of the team, real-time ang pag-view ng changes. If may changes sa first slide, nakikita din ito by anyone who accesses your slideshow. Okay? Then you can also restore older versions of the presentation. Pag si teacher number 2 na-delete niya by mistake or by accident or even by intention, no? Ang all slides or perhaps slides number 2 until slides number 5 kasi ayaw niya dun sa aesthetics ng slides 2 to slides number 5. So pwede niyong ma-retain yung older versions nung nandun pa si slide number 2 and slide number 5. As compared, di ba, sa PowerPoint, kung say for example, dinelete ni teacher number 2 si slides number 2 to number 5, tapos sinave, tapos kinlose, pag inopen ulit yung PowerPoint na file, wala ng Control Z. So kung na-delete na yung si slides number 2 and slides number 5, there is no other way for you to redo the deletion, but you have to recreate, di ba, your slides sa presentation nyo. So in Google Slides, it is very safe kasi you can retain the older versions. If may history ng edits nyo, you can retain it. Okay, you can go back to the recent changes. Sa PowerPoint naman, you must all be members of the Office 365, tapos dapat lahat may OneDrive na kailangan pang mag-subscribe, 'di ba? So there is problem with sharing and collaborating. Kasi sa Google Slides, no, by default, since Google account holder ka na, then you can share and collaborate with all other Google account users easily. So, yun. In terms of special effects naman, 'di ba, mahilig siguro tayo sa animations. Sadly, limited ang Google Slides. Meron sila mga basic animations and transitions, but it is not at par. It is not comparable, no, to the animations that Microsoft Office PowerPoint has. 'Di ba, may mga 3D effects na nga ang PowerPoint natin. So, of course, nililimit ng Google Slides ang animations because it takes a lot of bandwidth, no? Especially if you present or you show your slides, no? If madaming animations, then tendency is madami din ang connection issues. So, maglalag, magbabag. So, nililimit din nila. So, di ba, just like in Google Docs, once you upload a Microsoft Word document, no? Pwedeng mabasa ng Google Docs yon as a Google Docs document. Dito naman sa Google Slides, if meron kayong na-prepare na PowerPoint presentation, no? Tapos i-upload nyo ito as a Google Slides document sa Google Drive nyo, nababasa pa rin ito, but if there were animations that you included in PowerPoint, chances are hindi na din magpe-play ang animations niyan sa Google Slides because they may not be supported. So wag na lang kayo magtaka if may in-upload kayo na PowerPoint and convert into Google Slides, no? And once you present, wala na yung mga automations, wala na yung mga spiral effect, mga emphasis effects or fly-in effects. So mawawala na talaga yan sa Google Slides. But let us remember, no, na what is more important than effects and the animations, diba, is the content of our presentation. Correct? So we can actually we can leave the animations behind, but rather we focus on the content, on the meat of our presentations. So secondary na lang ang aesthetics and ang animation. Okay? But in terms of special effects, of course, the clear winner here is PowerPoint. Okay? So pre-made templates, we can give this to Microsoft PowerPoint kasi ang templates din na in-offer ng Google Slides are also limited. But sa PowerPoint, you can download a lot of templates. Even PowerPoint itself has ready templates for you to edit and for you to work on. Plus, you can search over the internet mga templates, no, na perhaps contributed by other users who do not really belong to Microsoft, but they created templates and they are sharing. So there are a lot of options you can choose from. But in Google Slides, although there are, but it is not that many or it is not that much compared to what PowerPoint offers. So in terms of embedding naman, the winner here is parang 50-50 kasi ito eh. Kasi in PowerPoint and in other actually Microsoft Office na products, there is no limit for you, no, to embed pictures kung may ilalagay kayong pictures or videos, no, there is no limit. But in Google Slides, there is a 25 MB limit, no? If beyond 25 MB ang ang picture nyo, perhaps kung ang picture na to is a DSLR na picture, no, tapos ipipaste nyo siya sa Google Slides and it is beyond the limit, chances are hindi talaga to mapipaste sa inyong slides because there is a limit sa images. So you must siguro edit or reduce the quality of your image for it to be pasted. Pero sa Microsoft PowerPoint kasi automatic na regardless of how big your images are or your multimedia are, then they can be pasted easily. So pero I said 50-50 kasi sa Google Slides you can embed a video from YouTube easily, no? From Google Drive, there is a button there for you to include a video from YouTube wherein wala siya sa PowerPoint. You will have to download. You must have a local file, no? From your PC, from your laptop or desktop to play a video. Pero sa Google Slides, since YouTube is under Google, so there is an easy functionality or feature for Google Slides to play to play videos from YouTube. Okay? In terms of fonts naman, I can say that PowerPoint is the winner. Kasi di ba, sa PowerPoint, you can download a lot of fonts, no? Sa internet, we have thefonts.com or fonts. Basta may mga sites where you can download and install your fonts. Pero sa Google Slides, there are only limited fonts. Although you can download other fonts, but iba talaga yung madaming resources na available sa offline na versions, especially sa PowerPoint. But remember remember that if you install a font locally, no, sa inyong PC, and there is a high tendency na such fonts will not be visible in other computers, 'di ba? Since hindi naka-install yung in-install nyo na fonts sa original PC. So once you transfer or open that file into another PC, iba ang i-render na fonts or iba i-display na fonts for the reason na hindi naka-install yung fonts na yon sa bagong PC. So I hope you get the point, no? In terms of fonts. Kasi sometimes fonts do the deal, no? Even ako, if I edit pictures or if I lay out images, iba ang nadadala din ng fonts kung maganda ang fonts na ginagamit mo. So iba din ang aesthetics niya. So that's one of the of the considerations in terms of fonts. Okay? In terms of linking, in terms of linking, it is Google Slides that wins here. Kasi there is a button, no, for linking sa Google Slides wherein you just have to highlight a text and then you have to create a link automatically for you to visit other sites or other documents. There is a simple button for that. Pero sa PowerPoint kasi there is no button. You have to right click and insert hyperlink, di ba, mga ganon, and then you still have to locate. There is another window that prompts and medyo it is confusing as compared sa Google Slides sa linking nila. So in terms of conversion or export naman, I think I can say na 50-50 din siya. Kasi sa Google Slides, you can easily convert, no, to a PowerPoint file or any other other file formats by using the download no under sa file. So pwede 'yun. Although ganun din naman sa PowerPoint, you can save into PDF, 'di ba, yung save as functions. Pwede in other formats. So I can say 50-50. So, yun. I leave it up to you kung which one for you is the winner for the conversion and export. Okay? So I think that's all for the difference between Google Slides and PowerPoint. So for now, we will try to hover Google Slides. So allow me to share my drive. So once again, I am on my drive, and for us to create a Google Slides, no, you have to click on the new, just like what we did earlier for Google Docs. Then we can choose Google Slides. We can start from scratch through a blank presentation, or we can choose from a template. So at this point, I chose a template. So in our department in the ACT, we have a shared presentation for our presentations, no? The ACT presentation. But there is also another tab for the general. So there are already available presentations. So if you have some prototyping presentation, consulting, pitching, status report, and there is also a lot. Then we have some personal na templates, no? Recipe books, portfolio. So actually, these are also there are also templates available sa PowerPoint din. So ayan. So say for example, you can start from scratch, no? But this time, para maiba naman, you can have a blank. I mean, a template, book report template that we can work on or we can edit. So as you can see, no, ayan na, ready na ang mga templates natin. All you have to do is to edit or update the contents. Ayan na, they're already ready-made templates for you. Although there are also other themes na available on the once you open a Google Slides, no, sa right side niya, you can choose also other templates. So sige, let's work on this na lang. This is already a template. Once again, you can rename your document or your slideshow presentation. So if this is book report, siguro you can make it more personal. You can customize it like my first book report. So you just edit there in that part, then hit enter. So automatically na-rename na yan, yung file name nyo. So once you go to the drive, what you will see is ito, my first book report. Okay? Then, ano ba? The same, di ba? The same functionalities under the file na I have mentioned sa Google Docs earlier. Basically the same. Then the same din sa edit. Sa pag-present naman, say for example, no, tapos na kayo sa ginawa nyo, ibahin ko na lang to. Book title, The Da Vinci Code. Diba? Sample lang. By sino ba? A report by my name. By Joshua Domen. Say for example, I want now, it is my time to report. Tinawag na ako ni teacher for me to report. Then you just have to click on Control F5. So nagre-present na siya, or there is another way, then press escape lang, no, para bumalik kayo sa admin interface. Ito din, pwede din to, itong present buttons. Easy present buttons. And then, what else? So, ito yun din yung mga na-discuss ko, no, sa Google Docs. So, under naman sa insert, if you want to insert mga images and other multimedia, this is the part, no, where you will be going into sa tab. You can insert an audio, pwedeng video. So, di ba, if you insert a video, another dialog box prompts, then pwede kayong i-search nyo lang sa YouTube ang mga videos na available doon that you can insert. Let's say Tech Talks with Pambansang IT Guy. Kasi yan ang YouTube channel ko. So I actually have a lot of tutorials class, Google Forms, Google Drive, mga in-depth na tutorials. So say for example, I'll be including a video. Just have to click on it and then select. Although pwede din by URL, no? Say for example, pumunta ka ng YouTube, kopya nyo lang sa address bar. Pwede nyo i-paste dyan sa URL or perhaps sa Google Drive. Diba? If you have video sa Google Drive nyo na pwedeng ma-include, pwede naman. But balik tayo dito sa YouTube. Say for example, ito ang i-include ko. So select na lang. So automatically, there is a video thumbnail button, no? So once you play this sa presentation, automatically magpe-play din yan as what is seen sa YouTube. And if you compare it sa PowerPoint, diba, there is no feature just like this. Or perhaps meron ng mga bago, no? Or I'm not sure if meron na sa PowerPoint, especially sa mga bagong versions, but I'm not sure. Pero for us na older versions pa, 'di ba, wala pang ganito na functionality. So, it's easy to embed YouTube videos sa slides, sa Google Slides. 'Di ba? Okay? So, what else pa ba? Shapes, pwede, of course. Tables din, pwede. Charts, of course, if you have some diagrams or charts that you want to include, of course, pwede yan. Word art, lines. There is, of course, a comment sa insert na tab, di ba? If, say for example, ayaw mo, si teacher 2 ayaw sa ginawa ni teacher 1, si teacher 1 ang in charge sa slide number 1, tapos si teacher 2 ayaw sa ginawa ni teacher 1, so pwede namang hindi mag-edit si teacher 2, all she has to do is comment, uy, ang sagwa ng ginawa mo. Sagwa talaga. So maybe you can update our slide number 1, pwede yan sa comment, di ba? Okay? So we have the easy toolbar sa taas. There are transitions, there are animations. Pero limited lang. Limited siya compared to, of course, PowerPoint na madami. Okay? So, we have the Explore, no, na functionality. So if you have some contents, this is the AI of Google Slides. Yan. Kung ano din kayo, kung mga coders din kayo or programmers, especially Java, or meron din ang Google script is based on Java, then you can include some scripts, no? If gusto nyo ng mga animation na hindi available and you are particular at this, if may mga tech-savvy tayo na mga members sa participants natin ngayon, we have script editors, scripting, pero this is too techy na. Okay? You can also do some add-ons. We have a lot of add-ons na available. So you can, of course, duplicate slide. You can skip slide. So parang ano to, if in PowerPoint pa, para to siyang hidden na slide, no? Parang when you present a skipped na slide, hindi yun ipapakita, hindi yun i-display. Although you can edit. So say for example, itong si slide number 2 natin, no? Skip slide natin siya. You can easily right-click at skip slide. So as you would notice, ano siya, ano ba, parang something, naka-disable or hidden siya ang logo or icon. So once we present this, from this one, didiretso na to siya sa slide number 3. So hindi na makikita si slide number 2. So that's a skipped slide. Okay? So how do you add a slide? Kasi 'di ba sa PowerPoint, punta dito lang sa upper no, may new slide na. So you can right click and new slide since naka-theme siya. So blue talaga siya, and then you can actually change the view, no? So by default, it is the film strip view. So nandito ang mga slides mo sa left, and then ang interface niya nasa center. Pero pag naka grid view ka, so ang previous niya for all, kita siya in the center or in the workspace compared sa film strip na view wherein you can edit. So, yeah, I think yun lang. It is hard for us actually in all applications, regardless kung Google Slides to, regardless kung gumagawa kayo ng website, no? The best way to learn talaga is to apply and practice the application that you want to explore, diba? Because if you just learn by theory, if you just listen from me without actual application, then chances are you will not be able to learn well kasi diba hindi nyo na-experience on your own. So, experience is the best teacher daw, ika nga. Okay? So, for our activity, that you have to do as part of your of you obtaining a certificate, no? Syempre, I'm gonna share the activity. Saglit lang po. Ito, okay, sige. So this is hello po. Si Mr. Bonifacio. I-mute ko po kayo saglit ha. Yan. Sige, so for your activity 2 class, since tapos na kayo sa Google Docs, we'll now proceed sa Google Slides. This is a slam book of my training classmates. So each one of you, you have to select your own slide, except lang sa slide number 2 ha. Merong disclaimer dyan, please don't edit this slide. This serves as a template kasi, say for example, kung kulang ang slides natin na pinipare, then we can just copy this slide. So please, do not edit this. Choose or select slide 3 and up. Wag lang itong slide 2. Okay? So each one of you will take a slide and then you have to, ayan, may mga fill in the blanks na instructions lang dyan. You have to answer them. And then, ayan, you have to place your picture here para aware naman kami anong itsura ng classmate natin, no? So you have to fill in the blanks, you have to answer. You can be as creative as possible, just like sa Google Docs, no? You can choose your own fonts. Wag lang ang background. Let us have the same background, no? Itong may pagka-purple sa likod. Do not change such. Let's retain that. But you can change your text format. You can change the colors na babagay. You can change the background of your text box, no? Na babagay sa ano natin, sa background. And then, just like what we did sa Google Docs, no, please include a comment. Once you are done creating and updating your slide, please give a comment from your classmates, no, na slides. Baka the same kayo ng location pala, taga-Bais ka din pala, so you can include as comment, oh, we are kababayans. We are from Bais. Diba? Okay? So, I think everything is clear. So, you have 30 minutes to do such. So, I will be sharing this. Please make sure na lang, no, na you log in to your Google accounts, no? Para the comments, your names will be visible sa comments easily. So, I'm gonna change first the settings. Then, I'm gonna share to you sa ating chat panel the link. So, saglit lamang po, mahina ang kalaban. So, ayan na po, nasa comment or chat panel na natin ang ating activity. So, go ahead and show your creative juices. And you have 30 minutes, no? So, by 11:30, we'll be back. Kasi by 11:30, then we will have now the question and answer siguro. If I can answer some questions, then we can do that by 10:30. So hindi na lang po ako magpe-play ng music dito ha kasi naglalag po. So kanya-kanyang play na lang ng music nyo para hindi kayo mabore. So sige, go ahead. And do your task. So remember po if may nag-edit na sa certain slide, then proceed na po kayo sa ibang slide na lang. Make sure na walang logo or icon, no, mga anonymous na nandyan sa slide na yan. Makikita naman siya sa this one, no. Makikita siya sa film strip na view. If madami na ang nandyan, then proceed to another slide. Meaning to say, nandyan active ngayon si user. I hope clear lang po. May in-update po ako na instructions, no? Sa slide number 1 para mag-guide po kayo on what you will do. Ayan na, may nag-edit na sa slide number 2. Harold, please do not edit slide number 2 because this is our template. Please choose another slide lang. You must have this as our blank na template kasi for kung kulang ang slides natin, then we'll make use of slide number 2.
So, okay lang? Sir Harold? Okay lang? Please transfer na lang to another slide po. So, Sir Harold, i-delete ko na lang ha tong ano. Yes, yes, Sir Harold, you can edit na slide number 3. You can continue lang sa slide number 3. Gumawa na lang ako ng bagong
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, is it possible
Yes,
to?
Bonifacio. Yes, Mr. Bonifacio.
Yes, please, sir. Please, kanang pause again the link. Okay, I was disconnected earlier. Now I
Okay,
failed
okay.
to. Thank
Sige,
you.
sige. No problem. Ay, sorry, sa ano to, no? Sa Google Docs na activity? Or
Yung
Google
slide
Slides,
activity.
the second. Okay. Sige, nasa chat na. Comment panel. Were there those ba who missed the activity 1 na link? Hindi naka-answer? So that I can share and open again the Google Docs na activity.
Sir, yung Google slide na activity, sir.
Ay, teka, saglit lang po. Ito na, ang dami nating links. Google Slides, ayan. That's one for Google Slides. For Google Docs. Yung mga habol po sa Google Docs, ano pong reason natin bakit ngayon pa hahabol? Na late po, na late. Can we manually add a slides activity to? Sige, sige. Kulang, no? So this is also the reason yung slide number 2 is hindi ko pinapa-edit, no? Para meron tayong template. Anyway, sige, I'll be the one pasting na. So, saglit lang po. Dumami tayo ngayon halfway. Anyway, saya na po. Meron na po tayong available slides. Okay, kumusta po tayo mga kapatid? Let me go over your slides ha. So, ayan na, meron na tayong mga answers. Ay, si Doc Marilu sa slide number 5. Hindi. Parang name pa lang ang na-include, tama ba? So feel free po sa fonts nyo, sa size, sa formatting, it's up to you. And please do not forget that you have to insert a comment sa at least one of the slides of your classmates para getting to know na din, no? So, wag naman doon sa sa mga kakilala na, pili tayo ng ibang slides. Mukhang meron din tayong mga taga Luzon, no? So, Sam, kumustahan? Ayan na, si Sir Mark Estorco, naka-comment na siya sa slide number 10 ni Sir Gerardo. Ayan. Love life versus career. Of course, love with life. Ba. Sarap umibig sa taong hindi marunong magmahal. Sarap umibig sa taong hindi marunong magmahal. Ano ba ibig sabihin nun? May hugot si Sir Arnolfo. Love life versus career. My love life and my career must be balanced in order for me to enjoy life. Wow. Nice. Love life versus career. Put love in love life and in career. Wow. I see. Dr. Marilu, siguro pwede nating i-delete ang slide number 5, no? Wala na. Nablanko na ang slide number 5. Sige, ilipat ko lang ang slide number 5 sa last. Meron pa din pong slide number 16 sa mga hindi pa nag-start. May blanco pa po. Love life versus career. Prioritize your career, but don't forget to explore the beauty of love. Ayan, may mga hugot pala kayo, no? Love life versus career. I prefer career first because teaching is lifer. Love life can wait. Oh. Sige po. We respect your opinion, syempre. Ang ano lang, may mga hugot pala tayo, no, sa statement na to. Sige po. Tuloy lang po kayo. Meron pang 10 minutes. So once you are done, please explore other slides. Siguro random slide lang, no, and then comment. Para getting to know na din with your classmates for this training. Sige po. Go ahead. 6 minutes to go po. Make sure by this time nagko-comment na kayo sa mga classmates nyo, sa mga slides nila. For those magko-comment pa lang po, please comment dun sa mga sa mga wala pang comments na slides para meron ding comments sa ibang slides. For those who are done commenting, feel free to comment pa. If you are done with one comment, you may comment pa with other slides, especially yung mga wala pang comments. Remember po, ang comments are part of us, I mean of the task. So for us to check and validate if you have done the tasks, we will review your answers. So make sure you also have comments. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Class. Pasensya, I call you class because that's how I call also my students from St. Paul University, Dumaguete. I have a class there right now. Walang nag-answer sa slide number 16, no? I can siguro delete this. How about slide number 24 po? Baliktad na to. I think wala naman siguro active dito, no? So, I can also delete slide 24. Wala na din nag-edit eh. So, for aesthetics purposes, no? Yan na, ang dami ng mga hugot nila sir at ni ma'am. So meron din pala tayong mga tech savvy. Si Ma'am Clint, si Miss Tasha, BSIT, the same year. Okay, time is up po. Sige, so for the remaining minutes, 30 minutes, this is reserved for the Q&A in terms of Google Docs and Google Slides. So if you have questions, you can ask. Maybe I can answer, maybe I cannot, depending on the level of question. But while waiting for your answer, class, by the way, this is my YouTube channel and I am pa-promote na lang because my contents here in this channel are tutorials. And for those asking for a recording, no, maybe I can upload a recording in this channel of our discussion today. So I can upload it here. Then you can check later for review. Siguro after na lang 5 p.m. because there is a second batch that I will be doing. Or maybe in between I can upload, no? Then I have mentioned kanina, no, na I am a Google certified educator. So by the way, I took the exam without, as in, I did not study, I did not prepare, as in, once I registered for the exam and I got the link available for me to take the exam, I immediately took it without second thoughts. So, and I passed. So I think for you as teachers, no, this certification will help you, especially kung may mga ranking purposes. So I shared a video in that channel. I'm sharing to you the guidelines and some tips. So you may check on my latest video how I passed the Google Certified Educator exam without studying there in that YouTube channel. Okay? I'm open for questions. How to be a Google educator? Baka pwede nyo po kami i-review din. Ayan po. Yun pong um, yung video na yan sa channel, that's where I shared my journey as a Google certified educator. Although ano kasi once you take the exam, you have a non-disclosure terms of agreement that you have to agree on. So you cannot share what really came out sa questions, no, during the exam. But what I can share though is the coverage. So these ones that we are discussing right now, yung Google Docs, Google Slides, and then tomorrow Google Forms and Google Sheets, they will come out sa exam. They will, I am pretty sure that they will come out sa exam. I cannot divulge to you the exact questions, but they will really come out. What else? Yes, gusto ko rin maging Google educator. I really encourage you and I push you. Siguro kung if we have a final project, no, for this training, for this 2 days training, kung pwede lang that you should be a certified Google educator person. So 'di ba? You are certified by no less than Google. So there are two sets of the exam. Ang first set is a multiple choice and drag and drop question type na exam. So there is no fill in the blanks, do not worry. And usually situational din ang mga questions. And the second set is the actual na. You will be given an account and you will demonstrate how this is done here, how this is done in this Google application. So basics lang siya. I really believe that this training that we are having right now will help you and will aid you in the exam. So a recording of this training we have here for day 1, I will be uploading sa channel, on my channel, so you can check there. From Tasha, how to register for Google certification? Is it for free? How many questions are there? Dami tanong ni Tasha. How to register for the Google certification? There is a link that you have to visit to register. It is on that video. I forgot the exact link, but it is in the video, the complete link for you to register. Is it for free? It is not. It is not for free. You have to pay 500 pesos for the level 1 exam. But do not fret if it has payment, because let's take it as an investment. For the next 3 years, you will have your certificate. So it is an investment. So your 500 pesos can go a long way. How many questions are there? If I could remember it right, there is 18 questions for the set 1, while 11 questions or scenarios for the set 2, and you are given 3 hours to finish the exam. My laptop po ba na designed for Google? Um, kung laptop, wala naman, but there are tablets. Chrome, ano ba yung tablet din sa Chrome? Chromebook? Chromebook ata yun? If I could remember it right, there is no tablet, but there is no laptop specific for Google, but there is a tablet Chromebook that has special features designed for Google products. Although Google is very flexible, regardless of your laptop, regardless of your device, Google is very much accessible. How to pay po? There is option there for debit, no, credit card. But ako, I don't have a credit card, so instead I used debit card. So I am a debit card Metrobank user, so I filled in um, what was being asked for me for the payment, and it was recognized. So I think debit cards could work. I'm not sure if all debit cards, basta in my case, the Metrobank debit card, it is not a credit card, it still worked. I'm not sure if GCash is if GCash or PayPal or other payment methods can be used. But sige, i-try kong i-check ngayon. Let me check ha. Mm, okay. Ano? Credit card. So, siya, credit card ang inihingi talaga, walang other payment methods. But I think a debit card will do naman. I'm sure your salary, di ba, is coursed through your ATM cards, no? Or your ATM accounts, so you can use such. Any other questions, technical questions about Google Docs or Google Slides? Wala na. We still have 20 minutes. Any other questions about Google Docs and Google Slides? Sige, ganito na lang. Ako naman ang magtatanong sa inyo. Which do you prefer, Google Docs or Microsoft Word? Docs or Word? Kindly answer sa chat natin. Although, di ba, each one has its specific features. Both, okay. Depending on the need. Correct, no? Especially if you really want to work collaboratively, if you have some other members to work with, I think Google Docs is much preferred. Pero if you will work siguro alone, no? Kasi iba din ang features, ibang level na din ang features ng Microsoft Word. Pero siguro in terms of collaboration, Google Docs. For portability, Google Docs. Sige. So next question, PowerPoint or Google Slides? Both, okay. Both pa rin. Ang dami. Ba't ganun? Ba't ang daming nag-answer ng both for slides and PowerPoint? Pero pag docs and Word, Word ang mas maraming answer. So we have your answers used to Microsoft pa. O, correct, no? Especially if since time immemorial, Microsoft Office na products ang ano no, ang ginagamit natin. But yeah. Mm. Oo, Google PowerPoint has many features. Yeah, so tama naman. But remember ha na ano ba? What is more important sa presentation nyo is the content, 'di ba? Secondary na lang ang aesthetic, sa mga animation. Although that is also part and that is also important, 'di ba? Kasi 'di ba mayroong level of attention ang mga listeners natin or ang mga participants natin while you are reporting. So it is important na aesthetically pleasing din ang ating presentation because people or most people are visual or spatial people. Okay? Are there those ba who have not answered Google um okay. Saglit lang ah. May mga umahabol pa po, no? Sa Google Docs na activity. Sige po, bigyan ko po kayo ng chance na humabol but until 1 p.m. lang po kasi magsisimula na din kami sa batch 2. But sige, I have already updated the settings for Google Docs na activity. Habol na lang po. Used to Microsoft, okay. Any other questions? Review ko lang po ang chat niya. Baka meron akong na-miss na questions. From Jonathan, may narration or recording din po ba sa doc and slides? Meaning, for the recording today ba? Tama ba, Mr. Jonathan? I will be uploading a recording of this sa channel ko. So, if you need review, doon na lang po. So, baka may na-miss po ako na questions kanina. Kindly repeat or paste ulit na lang po sa chat panel natin. Kasi na-overlap na. Sa mga umahabol sa Doc1, let me know po if naka-access na kayo. In-update ko na po ang In-update ko na ang settings. It is already editable by anyone. Yung feature while presenting my recording feature po ba si G-Slides? Do we mean na pang-record, no? While you are presenting, as far as I know, that's a good that's a good suggestion, but as far as I know, wala pa po. Siguro pwede nating iparating kay Google na i-include yan. Although, ako class, what I've been using to record na application is OBS. Baka familiar kayo ng OBS, no? Ginagamit din siya pang live stream. Although meron din siyang function to record. So, ang ginagamit ko is OBS. Siguro may we can request sa ating facilitators na another training for OBS. I would be glad to share din. So Office 365, okay, meron recording feature. So good for Office 365. But remember, hindi lahat may Office 365 account. So it is as if you're also paying for the feature. Ano po ang recommended mobile apps to edit or collaborate using Google Slides? Ang Google Slides po mismo merong mobile version or mobile application. So, meron po. Google Slides has its own mobile app. Available in Android, in iOS, in BlackBerry. Meron pang BlackBerry nga na ano ngayon. But if you were to ask me if what I can recommend in using Google Slides, I would really suggest na hindi po mobile na version, mobile app na version, but rather yun talagang desktop and laptop. May nag-share nga kanina na nahihirapan daw, naka-mobile lang. I think nahihirapan sa interface sa mobile. So, of course, if you could imagine, you are processing text, documents, image, and multimedia documents, and you are just using your hands or your fingers to navigate instead of keyboard and mouse, then that will, of course, be a problem. But if you're only accessing Google Slides or Google Docs sa mobile just for viewing purposes, if you are just reading a document, if you are just viewing a presentation, if you are just reviewing for an examination, I think the mobile apps version is okay, is good for you. But if you will already be editing or creating a document, if you will be creating your presentation, I would advise na you'll be using your laptop. So wala na po. I think we can dismiss early, I hope everyone has may pahabol na question. Sir, try ko register sa criterion ang sa province or state ba kay pang US man mo gawas? Talaga? I think you can choose outside US. Because ako, I was able to I was able to choose Philippines na location. So maybe meron lang na overlook something that you have to select. Kasi ako, I was able to choose Philippines and even select the region. I think wala na. Tomorrow, please, I think mas interesting tomorrow ang Google Forms. Kasi, di ba, you're on your online class. Ako din, I am also handling online classes for my college na subjects, for my classes as part-time instructor. I'm also using Google Forms for our quizzes. So tomorrow, we will integrate how Google Forms can be used as a quiz tool. And tomorrow, balik kayo bukas and be be presentable. Make up kayo. We'll have our class picture siguro tomorrow. Wag na lang ngayon kasi ako din ang dugyot ko tingnan ngayon. Bukas lang tayo mag-picture. Okay, I think wala na. I can give back the floor or screen to our facilitator, si Sir Gerald, for some closing siguro, sir? Or instructions ba?
Hello, Sir
Thank you,
Sir
everyone.
Joff.
See you
Morning.
tomorrow. Sir Je, hello.
Kumusta, sir?
Okay, way kaon. May pamudya sa Cebu kay na ikaon.
Balik lang karon na yun, sir.
Ipadala ninyo na ako LBC ang kaon. Just kidding. Sige, Je. Maybe we can
sige, sir.
dismiss them early, not unless napaka-instructions nila or...
Kuala ko, sir. Remind lang ko for those who just came in or just log in, join with us. Don't forget the attendance, okay? So, I'm checking here, we do have around 30. So na yung uban, nakabalik-balik ko attendance. So once nakakuha na mo sa attendance, that would
Je, I
be,
think we have ano, sorry Je, but I think
Yeah.
we have participants who are Tagalog or
Oh, yeah, sorry,
other
sorry.
language. So
Yeah, sorry. For the attendance, just to remind everyone that once you log into the form, that's for today, that's for this morning, and tomorrow is another one. So I saw some other participants, like I think they logged in back again, probably connection problems. Siguro, Sir Josh. And that's it. So do you have any questions for Sir Josh before we could end today's session?
love life or career daw ang question nila. Just kidding.
You can answer that one for me, Sir Josh. So I think it's a wrap. So everybody, thank you for your time, and Sir Josh, daghang salamat.
Thank you, Je. Is this the same link, Je, no, for batch 2 later?
Yes,
Or may-
same.
Okay,
It would be
okay.
the same link for Region 8.
Sige,
And
sige.
for
Salamat.
tomorrow, no problem.
Ay, sorry.
So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sir Josh, and God bless everyone. Thank you.
So for those asking a video recording and slides of what we used today, I will be uploading na lang sa ano ha, sa YouTube also the link for the slides. Okay? So see you tomorrow. Picture ta tomorrow. So look presentable, pa-makeup, parlor. Just kidding. Bye-bye. Yes, I think the same link lang for tomorrow. Then you can leave now so that we can accommodate the next batch for Region 8. So bye-bye, everyone. Happy lunch.